We will be starting in a minute. I've been told the podcast crew is coming, but hello. I just saw your comment now, Elfman. Yeah, I'm all alone. I'm ready. Minute late. Where's everybody else? I think I'm going to start without him. 3, 2. Oh. Well, look who it is. We're live because we're 2 minutes late. Oh my God, Mario, I'm so sorry to hear that. I've been trying to avoid thinking about doing that. Mario says he's stuck at the taxman's for the next hour.
Barf.
Ugh. Hello, Andy the Zombie and Blue Husky.
The taxman coming.
That is terrible. All right, we got to start.
So like getting an oil change, like you're just sitting there waiting for them to call your number up and be like, you're gonna owe this much money.
3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo podcast, Webisode 651, the Quilladin podcast, or the Quilladin podcast.
Quilladin.
Don't unplug that. Mom Brain, could you please tell us about Quilladin, please?
Quilladin is a bipedal mammalian Pokemon with some plant-like features. It is largely covered in an armor-like shell similar to that of a chestnut. The armor is green in coloration with 2 large spines jutting out like ears. These spines and its pointed tail have red tips, and there are banded segments on the back of the shell.
I know.
The lower half of the body is brown and has a 3-pointed patch of fur decorating the front. Quilladin's stubby limbs are brown, but the top surfaces of the arms are protected by green banded armor. It has 3 white clawed digits on its hands and 2 on its feet. The face is exposed and unarmored, being light brown in color. It has a small pink nose and a pointed snout with a 3-pointed patch of brown fur extending out like hair.
Fur.
Like her. Brown triangles mark its cheeks. Quilladin also has wide eyes, buck teeth, and usually wears a cheerful expression. Quilladin's not aggressive and never starts fights, although it's known to exercise its lower body by running into other Quilladin. When it's forced to defend itself, it relies on its shell to deflect attacks before counterattacking with its sharp quills. A peaceful creature. More male than female by a lot. 87% male.
That's the way it should be, right, Kirby? Yeah.
It's number 651.
Men.
It's a grass-type Pokemon. Its abilities include Overgrow, and Bulletproof is its hidden ability. It's 2 feet tall, and it's 63 pounds, and that's Quilladin, folks. Don't ask me anymore because I don't know.
Thanks, Mom Brain.
You're welcome.
Did you say it's 2 feet tall?
2 feet tall.
I could have.
Okay.
How's it feel to be back in your old role?
I prefer being in charge.
Oh, really?
Maybe,
Oh.
Yeah, maybe we should do it like every 50 episodes.
No, we won't be doing that. I don't care.
A woman's place is in the music section.
Hi, Mom Brain.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Kirby.
Hey.
Hi, Nikki Hill. Oh.
Yeah, he's upstairs. He said he had to do something.
He's roasting some chickpeas.
That code for getting high?
It's code.
It is now.
It's code for FaceTiming with your dog.
Hello, Wouter and the Aloe Wolf and Dre Gamer and Boy Meets Nintendo and Stakona. Come on now. And Mario of the 7 Stars and Nader Die, who says he's sick, and
Aww.
Swedish Galaxy and
Nader Die, do you have the flu?
I hope not.
Roth and Coop Wii U.
I heard it can kill you.
And Elias
It'll kill
IB or Eliasib and Turquoise Gold Scraper and Elfman and Daniel and ZX Billy and some name in Russian that I can't read, but thanks for joining us. And Solo Jones, who says, "Don't forget me." I would never forget you, Solo Jones. That's a good name.
Now
Hello,
listen,
Robert.
Solo Jones.
you gotta pay attention to who's
I'm
coming
not done
in.
yet. And Bacon Bits and Blue Husky and Twisted In and Andy the Zombie and whoever else I didn't say hi to. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I appreciate it. I will let you know if Nader Die says what he's sick with. I don't think he said. He did say Quilladin is my favorite Disney movie. Quilladin is my favorite Disney movie. Yeah, he just says, how you guys doing? Because I'm sick. And Stakona says, Senpai noticed me. I just watched that video again the other day. And I didn't realize he has other videos. It's him doing the same thing,
guy,
basically. Yeah. They're not as funny. That one just...
The one where he pretends to be a Satanist?
Yeah. It was just perfect. It's spot on. So, Kirby. First.
Anime is the work of Satan.
That's right. First, before we get into anything else, I know Nikki Hill's going to come down and ruin it. Oh, perfect.
I'm still not ready.
Okay.
Mom, ready?
Yes.
Can I just set that on top of the stove top? I'll put a mitt down and put it on the mitt.
You can, but
You can put it on the counter,
there's
too.
a wooden cutting board behind. If you're looking at the
It's gonna be hot,
stove,
you dope.
if you're looking at the stove
He's
on the
right.
right hand side, there's utensils. There's a
Yeah.
wooden cutting board back there. If you want to just put that down first.
Put it on the wood. Thank you.
The GoNintendo podcast is presented by Bloober Team's Layers of Fear Legacy for the Switch. Layers of Fear Legacy is a first-person psychedelic horror game with a heavy focus on story and exploration. Delve deep into the mind of an insane painter and discover the secret of his madness as you walk through a vast and constantly changing Victorian-era mansion. Uncover the visions, fears, and horrors that entwine the painter and finish this masterpiece he has strived so long to create. Layers of Fear Legacy makes use of the Switch's unique features, including HD rumble, motion controls, touchscreen, and the ability to play both docked and undocked. Layers of Fear Legacy is due out Q1 2018 on Nintendo Switch. Thank you to Bloober Team for sponsoring the podcast this month.
I am not just saying this because they're sponsoring the podcast, which is my bread and butter.
Okay.
This sounds like a game I'd enjoy.
I played the PC version. I liked it a lot. But don't listen to me because I'm sponsored, so that means I'm a shill.
I've heard it's kind of like PT.
It's a little bit like PT, yeah,
Okay.
same kind of. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but yes, you're right. They are similar. So
I haven't played it. I've seen very little footage, but that's just what I've heard.
So we are sponsored by them for this month, and like I said, thank you. But here is your money, and I'm giving you your money on the podcast because there's a story tied to it.
And you're giving it to me under the table.
Well, I kind of defeat the purpose by saying I'm giving you the money under the table. So
cash money.
I was like, I got to get Kirby his money, and I said, I got time. I'm going to run over to the ATM and get the money out right now. So I got in the car.
You really didn't have to do that.
No, I already gave Nikki Hill his money. I
Get ready to feel bad.
No, it's just a funny story. So I went over there, and I'm like, I don't have a ton of time. I'm going to drive over there. So I got in the car, and I drove over to, like, the dance studio parking lot that's right next to the exit.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it looks muddy. I better be careful. So I, like, carefully walk up the hill, and I go in Exxon, and I get the money. I get myself a nice drink. I come back out, and I'm walking back down the hill, and I'm like, I got to find a better way because going down the hill is going to be more dangerous. So I look for, like, a dry spot of ground, and I start walking there. And it was all like pine needles, but I guess underneath was nothing but mud.
Oh.
So I swear to God, I slipped like it was a Home Alone movie. It was like for like 3 or 4 seconds I was jockeying, and then it was just boom, fell face down in the mud.
Oh,
I'm laying there, and I'm like, I bet somebody saw this whole thing happen, and I look up, and there's two people in a car right in front of me watching, and they just pulled in. And the guy gets out of his car and trying not to laugh, but laughing. He goes, "Are you okay?" I go, "Yeah, I'm fine." I said, "I bet you enjoyed watching that, huh?" And he goes, "Whoa, just making sure you're okay." So I was like covered in mud, and my pants were covered in mud, and my jacket had mud all over it. I had like pine needles in my beard and everything.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
So here's the best part. When I was getting dressed, I wear shorts all the time.
Yes.
No shorts are done. So I was like, I gotta wear pants.
Meaning clean.
Right.
No shorts
Aren't done. So I had to wear.
Finished making them yet.
I had to wear pants, and the pair of pants I saw first was the like pair of Dickies from a million years ago, and the last time I wore them, I slipped and fell, and I ripped my knee open, and I was like, I'm never wearing those pants again because they're bad luck pants. So I put them on, and I slipped like 15 minutes later. So when I got home, Nikki Hill can account to this, I took the pants and I threw them in the garbage. I was like, they're bad luck. I don't want them anymore.
He was like a little kid washing up in the sink. I'm like, give me your clothes. Come on, take your pants off.
He had pine needles in his beard. Oh, he's washing his hands, and he goes, "Oh man, I lost one of my bracelets too." And he keeps washing his hands, and he like pushes his sleeve up, and he's like, "Oh no, it just got pushed all the way up my arm."
Yeah, it was like up here with like mud keeping it caked up here.
And
the can took a dent.
Yeah, there's proof of the fall right there.
Oh jeez.
I mean, I'm fine. I don't get mad at that stuff. I wasn't happy to be laying in the mud, but it's whatever. I thought it was funny. I wished I could have seen it happen.
Yeah, I said.
But
at least it happened to a person who truly appreciates the slow fall.
It really was a slow fall. It was like 3 or 4 seconds of jockeying to try and stand, and then at the moment hit where I was like, "No, I'm going down." The best part is that pair of pants has a big rip in the knee from the first time I fell. So when I got back, he had just gotten here, and he's like, "Oh my God, you ripped your pants too?" I was like, "No, it's from the last time I fell."
Well, first off, there was no car in the garage, so I was like, "Oh, Mom Brain is out." And then as I'm getting out of my car, he pulls in. I'm going, "Raw meat drove somewhere?"
Just out for my usual weekend drive.
And then he steps out. I'm like, "And he's wearing pants?"
Yeah, right.
And then I said something, and he goes, "No." And he turns, and his knees are all muddy. His one pant leg is torn, which I didn't realize happened already.
Yeah.
His sweatshirt's all muddy. His hands all the way.
Yeah, this whole hand was
his
like
beard had pine needles sticking in it.
If there's any mud in the car, I apologize, but I mean I had to get in the car, drive it home. There's nothing else I could do. So that's my story. But I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay. Don't worry about it. No, it's all right. Like I said, I think that stuff's funny. If I like broke a leg or something, I'd be a little upset, but I wouldn't be mad. But that's my story.
Yeah, I make fun of you for like not wanting to drive, but it seems like every time you do drive the car, something terrible happens to you.
Something's going on. I don't know. Well, I got rid of the pants, so maybe it'll be better now.
Yeah, hopefully. Maybe it's just the pants.
I'm wearing pants now, but they're not ripped, and I don't think they're bad luck. Maybe just bad luck in general is me wearing pants. I can't do. Well, whatever. All right. It was a big week for Nintendo. What are you doing here?
Yeah. You know what's upsetting?
It was a big week, and
when
I
I meet
stopped
somebody
it.
new
And blah,
at
blah,
a job. I started a job yesterday.
Hold on.
And somebody
Jacob says, "Hi, I'm eating Wendy's," but continue. So go ahead.
And the person I'm working with, who I've never met before in my life, says something about Mario Kart coming to mobiles. Yeah. I'm like, huh. I know somebody who's really in the know, and they didn't tell me.
Oh, you want me to? I mean, it's on the site.
I also didn't see it on Facebook either.
Well, I wasn't covering the site when that news came out. It was Wednesday, 6 to 10.
Dudes.
Nintendo Don was covering it, and he did post it. I just don't know if he put it on Facebook. I'm sorry. I'll reprimand him.
It's okay. I did a Google search, and I found the information I was looking for.
Yeah, I mean, you could just go to Nintendo's like IR page and you get all the information there too, or follow them on Twitter. They announced it first on Twitter.
IRL page.
IR page.
L page.
Investor Relations. which I spent a lot of time on this week because I put out their quarterly results, the third quarter. But we'll get to that later. First, we have a story related to Valve, which is the company that makes my brain.
Makes my brain?
Do they make Halo? No. Unreal? It's the guy with the thing in the back of his head.
Yeah, that's their logo, or was.
I don't remember.
They made games like Half-Life and
That was
Portal.
what I was thinking of, Half-Life.
They made games like Half-Life.
Yeah, right? They don't make games too much anymore.
They really don't have to because they're
right.
billionaires.
Hello, Jefferson. But they do say that they are still making games. They were at some conference. One of their people was at a conference giving a presentation. And he's like, we're Valve, we do Steam and all this other stuff. And he goes, and we also are still making games. And the audience laughed. And he was like, no, I mean.
No, really. What do they make? The Dota? Dota? Yeah.
Dota. Sounds like an Australian person saying daughter.
Dota.
Dota.
Yeah, that guy in IKEA. He kept talking to his girlfriend. Dota.
Dota.
Hey, Dota.
So we learned this week, and this is confirmed information. This isn't hearsay. It comes from Gabe Newell. Gabe Newell.
Yeah, that's a name.
He's the guy. He's the head honcho of Valve. His son gave this story on some podcast, and he says that him and his father during the Wii era,
during the Wii hours.
Wee hours of the Wii era, went out to Japan to meet up with Nintendo. And Gabe and Miyamoto were hanging out talking about something. And his son, Gabe's son here, was talking about how he was like, he got to play Super Mario Galaxy and stuff like that while his dad was doing these wheeling and dealing business things. But we don't know. He says, I don't know what they were talking about. But obviously, the two companies were thinking about doing something together because Gabe flew out there. We just don't know what. Obviously, it didn't come to fruition. It never happened. Valve hasn't released anything on Nintendo systems. There's
probably that new
Portal. Like there's been games that featured content from Valve games, like Lego Dimensions has Portal stuff in it. And there's a new Bridge Constructor game that is Portal themed that is on Switch as well. But Valve, as far as first party, as far as I can think, has not released anything on a Nintendo platform. Nothing comes to mind. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, at some point,
I mean, what was out at that time? It could have been a Portal game or a Portal port. A Portal port. A Portal port for a portable.
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if we'll.
It was for the 3DS or the
Yeah,
DS.
yeah.
A portable port.
So I don't know if we will ever find out what the two were working on, or at least considering. But it's good to know that the two of them have had some sort of relationship. Maybe that could be revisited in the future. Gabe had nice things to say about the Wii U, but they never released anything for Wii U. But now with the Switch being so hot and Valve saying that they still do games, I don't know, maybe it's time for like a Portal remake.
For the Switch, which is kind of a portable.
A portable port of Portal on the Switch, yes.
I like it.
Top rated comment comes from Einar, and he says,
whoa, not to mention, part of the color coding of the Switch, if you got those Joy-Cons,
hi, Joey,
are the red and the blue.
Well,
orange and blue.
Yeah, close enough. Einar says, I would wager a guess that it was Portal related. The Wiimote would have been an ideal Portal gun. Yes, I agree with that.
Especially with that Link's crossbow training. Crossbow.
Link's crossbow training? Link's Costco training?
He said crossbow training. I'm pretty sure I heard that.
That's the sequel.
And then I said crossbow. Crossbow training gun. Peripheral.
Link's CrossFit training.
I want crossbow training. Everybody's all about the bros now. Well, this game is making itself. Take it to the bank, Nintendo. There's plenty of money to be made there. Hello, Santiago. Oh, we're already there. All right. Hello, Zero Skill 3D. We have Nintendo's third quarter fiscal results, and if you wanted to know, it has been achieved. The Switch has now outsold the Wii U's lifetime install base. We are there. It is done. So in less than a year, the Switch has outsold everything the Wii U did in its five-ish years. Five-ish Finkel. Nintendo increased their hardware forecast for the fiscal year to 15 million units from 14 million units. So they're expecting another 2-ish million units before the fiscal year ends. They've also increased their forecast for their Switch software sales from 50 million to 53 million. I'm not going to give you all the nitty-gritty on the details as far as like money made and all that stuff. Their profit, that's the important part.
Moneymaker, Mike.
Their profit in this fiscal quarter was $1.2 billion. That's not yen, that's dollars. A 31% increase year over year. So there you go, $1 billion in that quarter alone, and then you can get the other breakdown of net sales and operating income if you want to. I told you what the Switch did. The Switch sold 7.2 million in this quarter alone. Life-to-date sales for the Switch are 14.86 million. The Wii U sold something around 13.6 million. So Switch has handily beaten it. Software sales are at 52.5 million. That's in total for the whole 10 months on Switch. And this only counts digital software that has a retail version. So there's millions more software sales on the Switch, but they're only counting games that are both physical and digital. So if you have a game like Celeste that is only digital, those sales aren't counted. But a game like Axiom Verge would be counted.
They've really got to update the way these things are handled.
Well, I think they're counting like...
Right. I mean, it should be easier. It should be easy for them to be able to count how many digital...
Well, see, I think the thing is...
copies of things have been sold.
Obviously, it's Nintendo. They can do what they want. But I think the thing is, when it comes to bringing a game to retail, there's a certain conversation or agreement that the companies have with Nintendo where the tracking is done differently. Whereas, like, if it's a small indie team of 3 people and they have just the digital release, yes, I'm sure Nintendo has the data, but Nintendo themselves never talks about that data and also doesn't really want the developer to talk about that data. So that might be part of the reason why. But yes, we know definitely there's other millions and millions of sales.
And millions!
Like Stardew Valley alone, because that has not gotten a retail release on Switch yet. That's, another insane amount of sales right there. But there's over 300 games on the Switch. So yes, there's lots more millions sold than that. 3DS hardware sold another... 3 million in a quarter. That brings the 3DS's total sold around the world to 71.99 million. So almost that 72 million 3DS's sold, which is quite good for a system that people said no one would want because portables were dead because phones were all the rage. So there you go. Software for the 3DS is at a total since launching at 360 million. It did 17 million in this quarter.
Sure.
Talk about their phone stuff. We don't care about any of that. If you want to know the breakdown for Switch hardware between regions, this is just for the fiscal quarter. No, it's not. 510. No, it's not. Japan has bought 3.7 million Switches. The Americas have bought 5.9 million. And other regions have bought 5.2 million. And there's some others sprinkled in there. We don't need to do that. Super Mario Odyssey, which has been available for 2 months, roughly, has already sold 9 million units. 9 million units! So
many units.
The next best-selling game on the Switch is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which sold another 2.9 million units in this quarter, bringing its total up to 7.3 million. Breath of the Wild sold another 2 million units in this quarter, bringing its total up to 6.7 million, followed by Splatoon 2, which did another 1.3 million, bringing it up to just about 5 million units. Then it's followed by 1-2 Switch and ARMS, and a new entry on the list, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, has sold over 1 million copies. That's great. Great news. December.
Yeah.
Came late December. Yeah.
That's not bad.
No, 1 million for a very, JRPG, a very Japanese-centric RPG. So that's cool to see. I think it's a great game. I'm not an RPG person, but I really enjoy it. And it wasn't anywhere near as complicated as I thought it was based on the footage and how the Nintendo Direct stuff explained it. I thought I would have no chance of doing it, but it's totally manageable. I was very surprised. You have something to say, Mom Brain? Mom Brain.
Yes.
What's the best-selling 3DS game of all time?
I don't think
How about Ocarina of Time?
No.
He just fills it down.
Mario Kart 7 is the best-selling 3DS game of all time.
Oh, okay.
All right.
If you haven't noticed, Mario Kart games are very big sellers. Mario Kart 7 has sold 16.76 million units. And here's the crazy thing. That came out a long time ago on 3DS. And this past fiscal quarter, it sold another 810,000 units in just the last quarter. That's followed by Pokemon X and Y, which are at a total of 16.26 million. Let's see here. New entry to the list is Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, which is at 7.17 million. So that's the first report of sales on that. And it's already the third best. No. Yeah. Oh. I forget what it is. I'll talk about it later. It'll be in another top story, but whatever.
You really get the facts straight before you
I
start
should.
spouting out.
Make your facts straight.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna. I'll talk about it later.
Something we want to look into for you?
No, I'll do it. We don't need to talk about all that. Amiibo, in case you want to know, 9.3 million units of the figure-type Amiibo were sold in this quarter, and 5 million units of the card-type Amiibo were sold. And then the eShop saw total download sales of 43.1 billion yen, which is an 87% increase year over year. So if you didn't get the picture yet, Nintendo's back, baby. I mean, we know Nintendo never left, but now they're back to making those Nintendo-like profits. Still some ways to go, but definitely an excellent quarter, and they're going to have a great fiscal year as well. Steel Diver says
You say it like it's like so fiscal year.
They're going to have a great fiscal year as well.
Fiscal year.
Steel Diver says they really have no choice. They have to go third party. Yeah, Nintendo's got to go third party. I don't know how they're going to survive. Nintendo's Genyo Takeda is getting a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences. Let's see what they say about this guy. Yeah. They talk about how long he's been with the company. Let's see. Takeda has been at the forefront in shaping the video games hardware industry in his career with the development of the Nintendo 64, the GameCube, and the Wii. So Mr. Takeda will be recognized for his work, and we don't care about that.
That's it.
So Takeda was born in Osaka, Japan, and graduated from blah, 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 blah. He graduated in 1971.
Is that a real school?
Shortly afterwards, in 1972, he began working at Nintendo. So he's been at Nintendo since 1972.
So 45 years.
Wait a minute. You mean Nintendo's been around since before the Nintendo Entertainment System?
Yeah, Love Hotels. That's all they did.
I thought they did card games too.
Yeah, but you had to play them at Love Hotel.
What's a Love Hotel?
Oh, you know what a Love Hotel is.
When you're a grown-up, we'll tell you.
Is that where you get like
Loved
full body massages?
Let's just say it's focused on providing hourly rates for rooms. Game God says, well-deserved award. Congratulations. What?
That's it?
What, do you want me to look up like the official definition of love hotel?
That's okay. I can do it.
No, I'm going to do it now.
No, I'm going to do it
I
first.
think
You're probably
definition is
right.
brothel.
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, there's love involved.
You go there for companionship, and it's not
A
necessarily.
love hotel is a type of short-stay hotel found around the world, operated primarily for the purpose of allowing guests privacy for sexual activities.
Can you get a woman to? Can you like pay a woman to let her
Pee in that butt?
like clean your ears while you lay your
No.
lay your head in her lap?
That's regular hotel.
Oh.
I mean, you get the right woman at the right love hotel. You can say whatever you want.
I'm
Man.
sorry, that's between you and the woman.
Oh, wow, these love hotels are nice looking.
I would.
This one looks like a castle.
I would love to go there. I don't think I would want someone to clean my ears. I know what you're talking
just
about.
like companionship too. Like there's people who just go there to
Listen, you pay, you get whatever you want. If you want companionship,
anything.
Yeah. Or you go to a snuggle or whatever they're called, snuggle cafe. I don't know what they're called.
Well, that sounds
right.
That's what he's talking about. It's places you go pay and like somebody like you two like lay down together and she
that's
like
what I thought it was.
strokes your hair and like cleans your ears like he said, and you two like talk, but there's nothing sexual going on. You just like,
are you kidding me? Cleaning
no,
ears?
I'm
cleaning ears.
That's very sexual.
I mean, not sexual, but definitely intimate. Oh,
well,
dear.
see, you go to the snuggle place to get a boner, and then you go to the love hotel to take care of the boner. Or aroused vagina. I don't know what you would call it. There's no like, I have a bone, like a girl doesn't say like I have a boner.
They're called femme boners.
I have a femme boner. Okay.
Oh, what was that?
I'm glad that Nintendo's history has brought us down this path.
What was that kid's mom's name? Helen? Hi, Helen.
Yeah. All right.
I'm sorry, maybe it wasn't a kid. It was a young adult.
Nintendo has said that there are more new ways to play and peripheral devices in the works for the Switch. This comes from Nintendo's president, obviously.
Hey,
guys.
Are you the Shockmaster?
You okay?
Oh, man.
Nintendo's president said, hey, I know we've done Nintendo Labo and you've seen what that's all about. But Nintendo Labo isn't the only trick. Oh, hello, Al, Delmar, and Kim. Nintendo Labo is not the only trick up our sleeves. He's saying we got some other things in the work. And the Wall Street Journal backs this up by saying that they are aware of more peripheral devices in the works for Switch as well as new ways to play. But they haven't revealed specific details, obviously, because they want Nintendo Labo to be the focus right now. And then later on, perhaps at E3, we will get a look at some of that stuff. Hello, Agent Iron Cat. Lysaturna, nope. Lysaturna says, oh, he's in an argument with somebody. Rex Tintors says, Please let it be an SCD, supplemental computing device. Please, please, please. So he wants something for the Switch that you plug the Switch into and it makes it more powerful.
You know what I'm just realizing? The Wii U, as pooped on as it was, that's doing something pretty like technologically interesting or whatever. You're getting an image streaming to a controller separate from the television in real time and everything. I don't know. I just think that there's a lot of computing process in not only do whatever's going on the screen, but also what's being sent wirelessly to a completely different device.
All I remember is them talking about how hard they worked on making making everything sync up and making sure there wasn't lag between the stuff.
That's what's like, but it's also like it's processing two screens, and one of them isn't even being transmitted through a wire. It's pretty impressive.
I mean, I loved the Wii U. I recognize its faults. I think it had a great, at least first-party software library. There were great games there, which is being proven by the Switch because so many of them are being ported over and people are buying them.
Put that up.
I mean, I would say not Nintendo's worst system. I would say the worst is the Virtual Boy. I can still have
Nintendo 64.
No, I could have fun with the Virtual Boy, but
no, it's the second worst.
The GameCube.
No. All right. Second worst Nintendo system.
I thought the GameCube.
And 64. I just told you.
But I thought the Nintendo 64's like. I just saw a damn song. Was super important just on the controller
the N64
alone.
was very important for the industry. The controller and just the birth of 3D. Well, not the true evolution of 3D.
Right.
Like those games are still used by developers today to better their own work. Trying to think.
How about that Game Boy?
I might pick the 64. I think you're right.
Yeah, like
the 64 has some like amazing games, but
yeah,
overall,
don't get me wrong. Some of my favorite games of all time were 64 games, but most of them were pretty bad.
There were a lot of bad games. Yes.
Well, you can't.
GameCube, I loved.
And a lot of them have not, even like some of the better ones have not aged very well.
GameCube, I remember fondly.
Only because of the technology.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. You fart? Was that a fart?
No.
Sakona says the N64 and the NES have aged terribly. I don't think the NES has.
I mean, they wouldn't be remaking it if it aged.
I can understand people looking at the visuals of the NES and being like, "Oh, I can't handle that," because compared at least when it comes to Super Nintendo, there's still games today that look like that. But then again, indies are making games that look like the NES as well. But a lot of people are like, "Why are they still making games that look like that?"
Yeah, like that. Do you think in a couple of years, indie developers are going to be making like games that look like 64 games?
I mean, there's a couple now. I think that trend is going to happen. Yeah. There's a guy that made.
I'm not looking forward to that.
I forget what his game is called.
Well, based on 64, but not actually sticking to.
Well, no, there are a couple that are doing that. Yeah, there's. I forget the name of the game, but one guy made his game look exactly like what it would look like on the PlayStation, the original PlayStation, like same kind of like textures and stuff like that.
Like lots of fog and bad, awkward controls and.
Yeah, Stefan is right. There's a clone of Resident Evil on the Switch, and I think it was on the Wii U as well. I think it was called... it doesn't matter, but it looks like Resident Evil 1. Like, the graphics look like that style. Somebody know the name of that game? Can somebody tell me, please? But yeah, I think it's going to happen. I agree. Now, a vaccine. That's it, Joey. Thank you. See, I wouldn't want games to look like the N64 again because I feel like the N64 was very muddy and blurry.
Yeah, right.
But I don't mind them looking like the PlayStation because I don't feel like they were Murray. I don't feel like they were Murray. I don't feel like they were muddy or blurry. Just crunchy. I don't know how to describe it. Basic polygons. I don't know, but low poly. I don't know. I like that look. So
jaggy.
I love jaggy games. Well, speaking of games across all generations, Mom Brain.
Yes, dear.
What is the best-selling Legend of Zelda game?
Ocarina of Time.
You are.
Wait. Breath of the Wild.
Incorrect on both counts.
Really?
The best-selling Zelda game is Twilight Princess.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I saw the chart.
Twilight Princess is the best-selling Zelda game. Just under 9 million units sold. And just to point out how much bigger Mario is than Zelda, Odyssey is already
Here in America.
No, all around.
Oh.
Odyssey is already at 9 million sold. It has already beaten the best-selling Zelda game of all time.
Where do you see all this stuff?
GoNintendo.com.
Where I see what?
Which news story is this?
I'm talking about The Legend of Zelda, one that's got a picture of Zelda on it, and it's got a chart about Zelda.
Yeah,
a couple stories behind.
So yes, Twilight Princess is the #1 best-selling on. Now remember that launched alongside the Wii and also launched on the GameCube. But
no, they were totally different games. In one game, Link was left-handed, and the other one, Link was right-handed.
Hello, I'm an F and T-Rex, and we love her. The second best-selling Zelda game.
Wait, is that one name? I'm an F and T-Rex and we love her.
The second best-selling Zelda game, as of right now, is Breath of the Wild. Already, Breath of the Wild is at like 7 million, I think, somewhere around there. A little over. No, it's over 7 million. It's like 7.5 million, 7.6 million. So with it already hitting that mark, this early in its lifespan, we could see Breath of the Wild become the best-selling Zelda game of all time. It's already beaten big ones like Ocarina of Time. It's beaten every one of them except Twilight Princess.
Big ones. That was an arrow.
You name it. Name a Zelda.
Majora's Mask.
No, it beat it.
Oracle of Seasons.
No, it beat it. What is the worst-selling Zelda game?
Oh,
not counting the CDI games.
That's impressive.
Link's Crossbow Training.
Well, I've seen the chart. So am I allowed to guess?
Nikki Hill gets one guess.
I already saw it.
Oh, go ahead. Then go ahead.
Is it Minish Cap?
It is Minish Cap.
Why?
Yes. Minish Cap sold just under 2 million units.
Was it at the end of the GBA's lifespan?
I don't remember. I want to say
it was actually
yes.
Yeah, but it was actually the first. I mean, this goes to show like how late in the game I was when I bought my GBA. That was actually the first game I bought for it.
Wow.
Yeah, I was also surprised looking at that chart that Link to the Past didn't sell as well as the first Zelda game.
Yeah, you would think,
or even the second one. Right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Link to Adventure of Link, the second one beat out Link to the Past by like 1 million.
Or even
because was Link to the Past the launch title?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Not
here for sure.
Spirit Tracks being over 1 million less than.
I'm not familiar with that title.
Phantom Hourglass. Phantom Choo Choo.
Phantom Choo Choo.
Well, yeah, I mean if
it was called Phantom Choo Choo on the box, it probably would have sold.
You're onto something.
That's just what happens. Like that, you cannot avoid it. As a system's life goes on, people are less likely to buy games. They just get away from it.
But like Zelda, like you would think that the people who played
the
prior Zelda, maybe they didn't like it.
You would think the numbers would be closer, yes.
Maybe there were 2 million people that played Phantom Hourglass and were not interested in another outing.
I mean, all that factors in, yes. And then on top of that, there are people who just don't buy portables and people who don't buy consoles. But what's really impressive is look at how close A Link Between Worlds and Spirit Tracks are. They're like, I guess A Link Between Worlds is a little bit less, but they're very close. Poor Skyward Sword, man. Poor Skyward Sword. It beat out Majora's Mask.
Just barely.
It didn't do better than Link's Awakening. Yeah, that's an interesting chart. So check that out when you got some time. But the good news is Breath of the Wild is doing extremely well for the franchise and looks set to overtake the best-selling title.
Twilight Princess was almost off the chart. Right?
Right.
I'd say so.
Yeah. Hello, Hakan.
They almost needed a bigger chart for it. It was a close call.
Mr. Rise's first 10 million seller in the series is a lock. The game is still legging it out in the top 10 Japanese chart of all places. Yes. It's still in the top 10 all over the place. Yeah, it's going to be the #1 selling. We're going to need some time, but it's certainly going to be the #1 selling. And then if Nintendo does like a Nintendo Selects line for the Switch, you can bet that's going to be in there, and that'll boost sales as well.
This blueberry has buzz. But I'm a grown-up, and I paid for it, so I'm eating it.
This was done by Nintendo Don. I just want to point that out. So thank you to him.
You're a grown-up, and you can also pay for your medical bills because that fuzz is going to make its way through other parts.
I mean, like that one's a little too fuzzy, but
he kept tab on Nintendo's investors meeting where Nintendo's president and others at Nintendo discuss the year of Nintendo, and it goes with slides and a whole presentation. So he has some tidbits from that. Thanks to our friend also over at the Wall Street Journal, Takashi Mochizuki, who I've talked to quite a number of times, who was actually at the event.
It's Japanese.
I was tweeting out details. Switch's sales momentum is faster than the Wii in North America. It's about the same as the Wii in Europe and slightly less in Japan. Now, the reason, obviously, it's less in Japan is because they had such shortages.
I'm reading a book, listening to a book, actually, by a Japanese author called Wild Sheep Chase. It's very good. I think you guys might enjoy it.
Thanks, my brain.
Japan made me think of it.
The Switch's paid online service is starting in September. So now you know. You got until September until they're going to want you to pay $20.
What does it involve? What does it include?
They're going to announce details of the subscription-based online program later in the year.
So we don't know what it includes yet.
No. Somebody was like, I bet the paid online gives you cloud storage and chatting without a mobile app. And everybody was like, oh, I would pay for both of those. If they had those two things, everybody would be like, all right, yeah.
How does cloud storage work?
You save data in the cloud.
So just the save data.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, because the games are always on the eShop to download, so you don't need to store the game.
Right.
And that would take up that would clear people's worries of like, what if I lose my system? What if I break my system? What if it goes in for repair and they can't save the save files, which has happened to people. They say applications for the Nintendo Labo hands-on event in the US, which happened yesterday, and you needed to have a young child to attend. They say applications for that event were more than 50 times what was actually available for seating at the event. And they're saying they were blown away by that because they were hoping people would be into it, but apparently people are really into it. Now, remember, that's just the 2 locations in the U.S., so that's New York and somewhere in California. Let's say San Francisco. Nintendo says that they're still committed to the 3DS business because they want to leverage that large hardware install base and the rich software catalog. So they ain't leaving the 3DS behind. They say the Super Nintendo Classic...
ain't is not a word.
They are not leaving the Super Nintendo behind.
Thank you.
The Super Nintendo Classic Edition sell-through is at 4 million units. So 4 million units of the Super Nintendo Classic Edition have now made their way into homes. Nintendo announced Mario Kart Tour for smartphones. It's going to come out...
That sounds like a fancy kart racer.
It's going to
I'm a Mario Kart Tour.
It's going to come out sometime in between April 2018 and March 2019, so in the next fiscal year. No details on that game, but it's called Tour. I imagine if it's called Tour,
with a
what
U
they're gonna
or not?
T-O-U-R.
Not T-O-R.
No.
Or T-O-R-E.
I imagine what they're going to do is take some of the classic tracks and translate them into mobile. So you get a tour of the Mario Kart franchise, but that's just my guess. I don't know if that's what's actually going to happen. Nintendo also announced officially something that's been rumored for a while. Nintendo and Illumination are working together on a Super Mario Brothers animated movie. And Shigeru Miyamoto will be deeply involved with the project, as will Nintendo, just overseeing everything. So they are going to do their absolute best to make sure they don't have another disaster like they did with the original Super Mario Brothers movie. I mean, they're already starting out better, I think, because it's going to be animated. Hopefully fully animated and not like live action and animated. But that's what Detective Pikachu is doing. I don't know.
It's the exact same movie. Except everything in the Mushroom Kingdom is going to be animated to be like a Blade Runner style.
I feel bad asking this.
Mm-hmm.
Is Bob Hoskins dead?
Yes.
I thought he was. Okay.
He died a couple of years ago.
So he needs to be CGI.
As is Dennis Hopper.
That's right.
Not John Leguizamo.
The only one I wanted dead. Also, Nintendo says that 75% of Animal Crossing Pocket Camp players are women.
Interesting.
Mom Brain, you're a woman.
I am.
Hear about that.
I never checked. I just have to.
Nintendo says their ultimate goal is for the Switch to be a one per person sort of system. So if you have 4 people in a household, they'd like everybody to have one. That ain't happening.
Have one what? The Switch? You crazy.
Like I say, Switch like you've never heard of it. Hello, Retro Ass. Hello, Drew. And one man was at this presentation and asked them a question, asked Nintendo a question. But before he asked this question, he told Nintendo, please make a cloud save function for the Switch. Nintendo definitely knows people want that. So are they going to do it? I got no idea, but they know people want it.
If they know people want it, then the answer
They
is
won't
no.
do it. Yeah, right. First comment comes from Game God, and he says Mario Kart Tour incoming. Let's start the speculations about Mario Kart 9 for Switch. Sure, go right ahead. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that.
Those poor stories.
We don't need to do that. It's all stuff I just talked about. But Mom Rain, you know what it is time for?
NPD?
No. See, we're at the beginning of a month. You have to wait until like next week, maybe.
Sure. You guys remember drinking Clearly Canadian? I used to love that shit.
I don't even know what it is.
Oh man, look at it.
All right, does not ring a bell.
Oh.
It's seltzer you would like.
Oh.
It's sparkling water, but it's like sweet.
Sparkling water? North America.
Oh, that sounded like. Oh, yes. It's time for Hello Kitty.
Is it?
No, it's North America.
Damn it.
This week's downloads. North America got Pokken Tournament DX Battle Pack Wave 1, so that's DLC. Got some Avatar items in there. Whatever. You know. Cryptid and Necro Dancer has released on Switch. If you haven't played that game, it's not a game for everybody, but for those it's for, it's a really good game.
People who like DDR and dungeon crawlers, I guess.
It's dungeon crawling, rogue-like, all based on rhythm.
Right. Yeah,
so you move around the dungeon to the beat of the music. Everything you do is to the beat of the music. Attacking, moving, collecting things. Yes. It's a lot of fun. If I mean, obviously you get really into the music because you have to, and certain characters move on like the third beat or the fourth beat or the down beat or the all that stuff. It's all different, but it's really cool. I really like it. Now that's available on Switch. You can even team up with a friend in local co-op if you want, and it has a fantastic soundtrack by Danny Baranowski, which is kind of important because it's a music-based game. Dandara is coming to the Switch on February 6th. Dandara. Welcome to a unique 2D platformer full of mystical creatures and boundless exploration. Defy gravity as you jump across floors, walls, and ceilings alike. Discover the mysteries and secrets hidden throughout the world of Salt. That's the name of the world. And its diverse array of characters. Empower Dandara for combat and survive against enemies bent on oppression. The award-winning Night in the Woods is now available on Switch. Now, that's a game that's been on my list of ones to play. Hello, Luna. And I haven't played it yet, but now that it's on the Switch, I got a good excuse to hop in on it. Night in the Woods is an adventure game focused on exploration.
You're only going to start playing it now because it's award-winning?
No. This doesn't say anything about it being award-winning. I know it's award-winning.
Oh, because it's finally available on the Switch.
They won an award for that. Yeah, I was saying because it's on the Switch, I got a good excuse to jump back in, or to jump in for the first time. Night in the Woods is an adventure game focused on exploration, story, and character, featuring dozens of characters to meet and lots to do across a lush, vibrant world. Break stuff, play bass, hang out, walk on power lines, jump between roofs, and discover strange and amazing and terrible things you never asked for. Come home and waste your life away in Possum Springs. No. Oh, no. Lots of Fire Emblem stuff going on to celebrate the 1-year anniversary. Theme Shop has 2 Radiant Historia themes, and it has 2 Pokemon themes. Pokemon Team Plasma themes, those are. Also available on Switch is Samurai Showdown 2, the Neo Geo game, 3D Mini Golf, Black Hole, that's available on the 6th. The Dark Side Detective is on Switch on the 7th. 10-Second Run Returns is on Switch. Eternal Blade and an Eternal Blade demo are on Switch. Frederick 2, Evil Strikes Again is on Switch. Her Majesty's Spiffing is on Switch. Island Flight Simulator on Switch. Mad Carnage is on Switch. Mercenary Kings Reloaded. Do you play Mercenary Kings on PS4? That is on Switch as of February 6th. It's a very fun game.
Okay.
Shiftlings is on Switch. Skyforce Reloaded is on Switch. The original SteamWorld Dig is now on Switch. 3DS got the game everyone's been waiting for. Now I know my ABCs. 2. The number 2. Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology.
Alphabet 2.
Got a demo. Wii U got Toon War, and the Virtual Console games Battle Chopper and Necromancer. Yes, the Virtual Console is alive and well over on the Wii U.
If the Alphabet is so great, how come they never made Alphabet 2?
It's true, right? It's about time. Well, thankfully, that's what this game is doing. First comment comes from Steel Diver, and they say, grass is blue, sky is green. My Nintendo offerings continue to be obscene. Also, I want to take this first comment to point out that in the 2-year lifespan of the Nokia N-Gage, EA released 6 games. Obviously, all full retail releases on the platform. At almost 1 year in, Switch has 1 EA game with one digital only game coming out. Well, what can I say? We all agree that the N-Gage was probably one of the greatest platforms for gaming ever.
Yeah.
Remember GameStop Eric had one?
Yeah.
Talking on it sideways.
GameStop Eric.
Wonder if he still got it. Europe, this week's digital downloads. On the Switch, they got Night in the Woods, 3D Mini Golf, Samurai Showdown 2, Eterno Blade, Frederick 2, Evil Strikes Back, Her Majesty's Spiffing, Shiftlings Enhanced Edition, Skyforce Reloaded, Steam World Dig. They got The Men of Yoshiwara, Kikuya. What is The Men of Yoshiwara, Kikuya? This is a popular romance game for women. Okay. The story, a closed island where baby boys are not born. A unique culture that is completely different from the mainland has been flourishing on the island. In the middle of the island, there's a district where men are gathered. Some women just want children. Others are looking for love. Knowingly deceived by a lie and deceived in return, all in a single night's dream. At the end, to whom is it that you will be talking of love?
I'm just not sure if all of that makes sense.
Wait, what was that last part again?
At the end, to whom is it that you will be talking of love?
At the end, to whom is it you will be talking of love? Okay, I got it.
Hello, Sanders.
Makes complete sense.
Mad Carnage is on
No, it
Switch.
just took me a while.
Pokken Tournament DX is on Switch. Because it's a weird sentence.
Sounds weird.
It's totally weird.
Minecraft has got some DLC. Minecraft's got the Moana character pack. Set sail with Moana, Maui, and the crew from Matanui. How far will you go in Minecraft with this adventurous character set? You're welcome. Get it? Because that's the song The Rock sings.
I know. You're welcome.
There you go. Great. They also got the another skin pack. There's Eternal Blade DLC. Chess Ultra got the Academy Game Pack. The Academy Game Pack is a tribute to the long and noble chess playing tradition in Russia that has produced some of the greatest players of all time and literally thousands of grandmasters. Russia is synonymous with chess. It is deeply embedded in Russian culture and has been in their DNA since first arriving from the Middle East in the 9th century. The beautiful but simple chess pieces are inspired by one of the rarer sets made in the town of Kolmargary, famous for its talented Russian chess carvers. The location is inspired by the academies that produce so many great players and host elite tournaments. Follow in the footsteps of the Russian grandmasters that played in the halls of the academy and immerse yourself in Chess Ultra combo. Pick a Pick Deluxe got DLC. You can do a pre-order for Disc Jam. Disc Jam is a fast-paced action sports game that pits 2 to 4 players against each other in a frantic mix of air hockey and tennis. Mercenaries Saga Chronicles is available for pre-order. That's the first, the second, and the third game all on Switch. Typo Man is on the Switch February 21st. The pre-orders are open now, though. And the same goes for Torkel Physics Modified Edition. It's a puzzle game. You can pre-order now. Get a special deal. Get 10% off if you pre-order now. That deal lasts until February 14th. You can also pre-order Owlboy. Owlboy is another game I really wanted to play but never did, and it's coming to Switch.
Oh, Owlboy. Yeah.
Owlboy.
Yeah, yes. It looks good.
Man, I want to say they took like 7 or 8 years to make that game.
Owlboy?
Whoo, Chavo!
Bum, bum, bum.
3DS got Zigzag Go and Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology. Special offer. Wii U got Battle Chopper, and Image Fight, and Image Fight 2, and Necromancer. I'm sorry, Mom Brain. There's only one theme, and it's Radiant Historia theme. There's no Hello Kitty this week.
I really wanted to hear now.
I'm
The Hello
so sorry.
Kitty thing.
I'm sorry, Mom
Sad.
Brain.
It's really sad.
Hello Kitty is in space theme. Hello Kitty in space. First comment.
Hello Kitty becomes a sweet planet.
First comment comes. Oh no, it's that guy. What's his name?
Which guy?
The Irish.
The Irishman? It starts with an S, right?
Yes.
You looked it up last week.
I don't remember.
Look, if I were in charge, I would have been prepared.
What did I say? Shillelagh.
Shillelagh.
Shillelagh says Steam World Dig is a quality game for those who haven't played it elsewhere. By the way, I laughed my head off at last week's podcast. Mom Brain did a great job of presenting the show. Nice way to shake things up. And your pronunciation of my name and Shillelagh had me in stitches. Well, then Shillelagh it is. Shillelagh.
What was it? How did you?
You didn't say if like your pronunciation was accurate.
No,
though.
you didn't. It
Oh,
was
it's
like
the same-
Slagic era.
Yeah.
Something like, I don't know. Shillelagh. Hello, Baxter. How insulting is it that, like, that's like typical
so
American,
bad.
like, I can't be bothered to learn your name. You're Shillelagh.
Right?
Nintendo says they're looking to support the Switch for more than the traditional 5 to 6 year period that you see for consoles. Because Nintendo says they got some tricks up their sleeve and some things they want to do, and they want to support the system longer than that. Obviously, they're not saying what they're going to do.
Oh, that's not how you spell shillelagh?
No. But they're saying, yeah, we want the Switch to be in this for a long haul. ZX Billy says that right Joy-Con will never last 5 to 6 years. It looks ready to blow any minute.
Oh, dear.
Oh, he's talking about the picture. It's true. It looks like it's vibrating. So yeah, I guess we'll just, I don't know. We'll find out how long it goes. It would be nice to have this. Oh, sorry about that.
Excuse me.
No burping on the show, please.
Oh, it smells awful.
We learned about a new
That's all right,
feature.
for lunch.
We learned about a new feature in Nintendo Labo that many speculated was there, as it seemed like it was teased in the first trailer, and now we know it is confirmed. Nintendo Labo has a feature called Toy-Con Garage. What is Toy-Con Garage?
I'd like
Let
to
me
know.
tell you. It's an option on the software's main menu, and it's just an empty black screen. And from there, you place blocks on the screen, and these blocks say things like, vibrate or pulsate or stuff like that. And you connect them together, these virtual blocks with lines. So it's like when you press this happens. So like, what do they call it? If-then statements?
Yeah.
So you can use this and connect it to different actions and other things and map them to existing Toy-Con projects. So you could make, like, for example, the motorbike handlebars and the RC car can be used in conjunction. So you can remap the motorbike's standard acceleration function to the RC car's acceleration. This makes an RC car Toy-Con that can be driven by the handlebar Toy-Con. So you can do whatever you want. And then on top of that, Nintendo says you can make your own stuff.
That's
You can
cool.
take cardboard and make whatever you want. And for example, they showed off a guitar, which is not part of their project. And they're like, look, we made this guitar out of cardboard,
I cannot wait to see
just
what people
laying
do.
around, and they programmed it to play music.
I bet Etsy will be full of people selling cool stuff, like cardboard
yeah.
things.
And Mom Brain, don't worry. They made it so that you can play the guitar and each string sounds like a cat. They want you to know that. So yeah, basically the options are limitless. You have the Toy-Cons that it comes with, but then you can make whatever the hell you want.
What strings? There's no strings on a cardboard guitar.
You use strings.
Rubber
you make your own
bands.
string. We'll do rubber bands.
Rubber bands and a tissue box,
Just
baby.
make your own guitar. I don't get it. How's it gonna work?
What do you mean? How's it
How
going
do
to
you
work?
make a guitar work with just Joy-Con?
This screen makes the sound.
Did they show it off? I want to see it.
I don't think there's footage of it.
Oh,
no.
well, then it's not real.
Oh, it's real.
Proof or it didn't happen.
Setzer Gabiani says, I see Nintendo sneakily trying to raise a new generation of engineers. Well, maybe not sneakily. Yeah, it's going to, like Mom Brain said, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Hello, Barry.
Your mom's gonna make stuff.
Now here's something else that they stuck in there. So we've seen the RC Toy Con, the RC Car Toy Con. It's not, it's not really a car. It's like a little bug, but whatever. You put the little bug on the table, and it's got the 2 Joy-Cons, and you slot them in, and you press one button on the Switch screen, and it makes one side vibrate. You press the other, and it makes the other side vibrate. And that's how you make it move. But then there's a special button on the Switch screen. You touch that, and it gives you a whole new option, a whole new set of options to do. And in the top of that screen is a little window. And that little window gives you a live feed from the Joy-Con's IR camera. One of the Joy-Cons has an IR camera. And you are able to look at this camera through the Switch screen. And it works in night vision mode and heat vision mode.
It's not real heat vision.
Yeah, it senses sources of heat.
Really?
Yeah. It's an IR camera, yes.
Our cat's a source of heat.
So there's a mode in here where you can make it track anything that is a source of heat. So like you put your hand in front of it and you see your hand on the screen and it follows your hand wherever your hand goes. Pretty crazy stuff. So I don't know what people can end up doing with that, but now we know the option is there.
Nothing.
That's definitely not true. It's the internet. It's going to be all kinds of stuff.
I'll walk my Joy-Con into the oven.
Something porn related, I'm sure. DDZ, Dragon Ball Z, Bad Man says, unexpected and very cool. It is, both of those. So now we know what Nintendo's doing with that Joy-Con IR camera because we haven't really seen anything since that eating this fake sandwich, which makes me laugh every time. Man, that was funny. I could watch a whole game of that. People eating fake sandwiches. That's really good. All right, we're done here.
Okay.
Kirby.
Yeah.
You play anything?
Yeah, I beat Another World this morning.
Whoa, you did?
Congratulations. I did, but I had to cheat a little bit. So
walkthrough?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I wanted to watch a walkthrough of Heart of the Alien.
No, don't watch that. You can play it here. I want to watch you play it. You already did, didn't you?
Hmm?
You already watched it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
that's all right.
And the thing was, it was actually a walkthrough of both games.
Oh.
So, yeah.
What part did you get stuck in?
Just one part, really. It's where let me think. You have to go up the stairs, and then you wait for the guy to throw the grenades down the stairs.
Yes.
Then you shoot him. Then you go down in the transporter, and then I guess you're supposed to fix it so that the door doesn't open.
Yeah, I know what part you're talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the part that I got stuck on.
How did you do during the part where they say my shoulder?
So you watched a whole playthrough of the second game.
Yeah.
Did you see any of the deaths?
Yeah, there was after the game was over, they actually showed like a montage, a death montage for both games.
They're brutal, right?
They're so terrible.
I know. And you know what? It will forever stick in my head without spoiling the ending for people. When the main villain is in a precarious situation at the end of the game, and he's on the ground, and he's like, no! Like, and he's getting his face scratched. I'm like, oh my god, this is horrifying. That image stuck with me forever to this day.
Yeah, and the ending is like such a downer too.
I know, right? Yeah, I remember playing it. Like, that was the reason I bought a Sega CD. I was like,
really?
have to get one because I love that game. And then the Sega CD was too expensive at first, and then people didn't buy it, so it got a lot cheaper. And I got one at Toys R Us for like $99, I think.
Oh, wow.
And I got Sewer Shark because it came with it, and Heart of the Alien. But yeah, that. I remember playing it, and I was like, oh, this is very sad.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to play this game now.
Yeah.
So I don't feel bad about watching the walkthrough.
Oh yeah, I remember playing it, and you know how it starts off, and I'm like, well, this isn't how it's gonna end, and then you know, nothing changes. Yeah, it's sad, but you get that cool whip.
Sure.
The whip that you whip people with, and also shoots lasers.
Yeah, why did they just give him a gun?
I don't know. I guess because they're like, we want a cool mechanic where you can like swing off of things, but it also needs to shoot lasers. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe there are like too many buttons. Don't want to confuse people.
It's a space whip, right?
It's a space whip, but
It's a laser
literally he has the whip coiled and he holds it like this, and a laser shoots out. It doesn't make any sense.
I'm sure Indiana Jones would have killed for a tool like that.
Well, I'm just glad you beat the first game. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rocket. I gotta play that. I've never played it. Snatcher on Sega CD.
Oh yeah.
I do want to play it.
Yeah, but it's like ridiculously expensive, right?
Yeah, I've listened to the soundtrack a lot of times. I've just never played the game. Is that it?
I also played some pinball games last night.
Oh, that's right.
I played The Sopranos and the Twilight Zone.
Oh, which was
the
better?
Twilight Zone. I like that one.
Yeah, my brother was telling me apparently the Twilight Zone game is like one of the best pinball games ever. Apparently.
Wow, I didn't play it. I wish I did.
Is that his opinion?
No, it
Yeah.
was like something he found online in some top 10 list.
A comment on YouTube.
Yeah, and it's like a subreddit somewhere.
Yeah, he saw it on a list of top 10 anime betrayals.
Top 10 anime pinball games. Yeah, it had like a lot of nice sound effects and flashing lights and stuff. I'm
flashing.
I don't really have any like sort of strategy when it comes to playing pinball games.
Just go.
You gotta let it get to the tip of that flip, and then pew!
Just like
the strategy is don't let the ball fall down.
Don't let it fall and make it go like as far up as possible.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Pew!
Is that all you
But
played?
that's all I played.
Nikki Hill?
Oh, excuse me. I think the only thing that I played was I told you I played and completed Severed.
Yes, you did say that.
Which
right.
how do you play that on a different system? What did you play it on?
I played it on Vita where it came out first.
Is that a touchscreen?
Yeah,
Okay. Because I thought it was interesting.
Wii U?
That
touchscreen.
it was on the Wii U too?
Yes, 3DS, touchscreen.
Right.
Vita, touchscreen.
Okay, I get it. I'm sorry.
Switch, a touchscreen.
Oh, it does have a touchscreen? Oh my god, I was throwing so much stuff at my television. This is crazy.
Yeah, I
It
love.
doesn't let you play on the
I love Drinkbox, so I was down to play the game as soon as it came out on whatever system it was on. So I was on Vita, so that's where I played it.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of very minimal or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
the soundtrack is even very like
Yes.
it switches up again. Like there's definitely times where it switches up kind of like Guacamelee. But I mean I really enjoyed it. It definitely got super challenging for me, especially when you have your, like I told you, your cloud feed or whatever,
Yes.
and you have to fight, like finish a fight before your feet
Yes.
fall off.
It's
And,
it's pretty unique blend of games. Like first person dungeon crawler with punch out aspects. Like there's a lot.
yeah, I
There's
guess.
a lot of punch out. Learning rhythms and
Yeah,
dodging, and it's good. I really like that game.
yeah, and then even the artwork is interesting.
Yeah.
And stuff too. I finished with 99%.
You 99%ed it.
Yeah, so there's the domain of crows, and I searched the whole place, and I got everything that I needed. Like I got all the
Yeah.
secrets, but apparently there was like one corner of a room or something. that
Isn't
I
the
guess I didn't
Domain of
start.
Crows early on?
Yeah, but you get
Yeah.
things later. And
No,
you have to go
yeah, I was
back.
just trying to remember where it is in the game.
That's one of the first areas that you go to. But I mean, I spent a lot of extra time going back. I think I played it for 11 or 12 hours total. because I went back to every one of those places.
Yeah.
And I really kind of scoured, and there was one room where I didn't even know what the heck to do. So I did look that up, but when the answer that I got on the internet didn't help me. So, but no, I enjoyed it. Great job, guys.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mom Brain.
Last night at the arcade, I played and beat Golden Axe.
Oh, you did beat it. Nice.
Wait, what arcade? Where'd you guys go?
We went to Yestercade.
Flemington?
Somerville.
Somerville? That's what I mean.
Yeah, you pay what, $8 roughly, play for an hour.
hour.
Everything's free play. So she just played Golden Axe till she beat
How
it.
do they know your hours up?
Wristband.
You get a wristband when you go in with
Yeah,
the
you
barcode.
just go
when
in.
you leave, they scan the
See how long you've been
wristband
there.
and they see how long
So
you
if
were
you've
in
been
there.
there longer, they'll pay you.
Yeah.
more.
Is that the first time you've beaten Golden Axe?
No.
So you beat Golden Axe in less than an hour on the arcade.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
you
it's not
got
really a
unlimited
long
quarters, sure.
Let me tell you, I do love Golden Axe. It never gets old for me. I always enjoy it, no matter what. I don't know why. And there's some baddies in there that scare me still, like to this day.
What ones?
It's the knights with the like cutout.
Yeah.
They scare the bejesus out of me, even as a grown up.
Oh, 'cause they're wearing masks.
I was a little upset because I couldn't hear the music because it's like my favorite part. And then Kirby came over when the little thieves when you kick him and he comes over and he's like, and it made me feel like I was really playing with the music.
Well,
They should have like a headphone jack you could plug in.
some of those arcade cabinets were bumping, and some of them are super quiet. So,
Yeah.
is that all you played?
All the real arcade?
Yeah. It's the real deal.
Cabinets?
Besides HQ, yeah, I think that's it.
I played. So I walked around the whole arcade, and I was like, "What do I want to play?" And I ended up first playing. I went to the Nintendo Play Choice 10, and I played Yo Noid. I don't know why I
I took
wanted
a
to play
picture
it,
of that.
but I really wanted to play it, so I played some Yo Noid. And then I played some NBA Jam, and I played
Did you just fart?
some rounds of Killer Instinct,
Yeah.
and I've forgotten how to do anything, so I got like the best combo I got was like a 4-hit combo. Walking through the place in my mind, what else did I play? Oh, I played Spy Hunter.
Oh.
But that was the first time I played the stand-up Spy Hunter. I always played the actual sit-down, like, racing cabinet Spy Hunter.
Is it loyal to the
Movie?
Yeah.
Seeing as how I've never seen the movie.
Really?
Really?
Movie night.
Yeah, that's true.
I've never seen it either. But I expected you guys to have seen it.
I played some pinball. I played the Baywatch pinball machine.
Yeah, I watched you play
Was
that.
that loyal to the movie?
I did not see the movie.
Oh,
All
these the games. Like
I know. And I think that's all I played. I haven't played anything this week. I've been too busy with the financial stuff. I haven't played anything at all, and there's stuff I want to play. Somebody in the chat help me out. There's this game I've been meaning to play, and then my cousin's kid got in touch with me. He was like, "Hey, have you played? It's Doki Doki. Something about high school, I'm sure." But he's like, "You got to play it. You're really gonna like it." He said he played it and he really enjoyed it. And I know there's been buzz about it. It's on the PC. So I want to play that like really bad, but like by the time I was done working last night, I was just beat, and it's been like that all week. So I haven't played anything. Tonight I'm playing it. No, it's not Doki Doki Panic.
That's what I thought when you said Doki Doki.
Something else. I don't know.
what is it's like a high school simulator? You're dying
That's
to go
what
back.
it wants you to think it is. That's the whole point of the game. It's like apparently like takes you through some very big twists and turns. Stefan says Culture Club or something like that. Char's got it. Doki Doki Literature Club. There you go. Yeah. Oh, yes. Hello, Gilbert. Thank you for the name.
I'm excited for Gilbert's appearance.
Thank you for the name as in Doki Doki, but also thank you for Gilbert, your name. We are talking about this because I have to talk about it.
Well, you fell down. We know.
Song of Memories.
Oh,
Don't say
boy.
anything. Did you watch the trailer for Song of Memories? No. Did you watch the trailer for Song? No.
Nope.
Is that
Okay.
the one
You're
that
missing out.
reminded me of that other game? No.
You two, right now, go to YouTube, type in Song of Memories. Well, you can share on Nikki Hill's
Yeah,
phone.
we don't want to kill your internet.
And it is a visual novel. Watch the trailer.
Song of Memories.
Song
Should we turn the
of
camera so that
Memories.
we can see them
It's up to them.
and their reaction?
It's up to them. Oh, thank you, Zero Skill 3D. I see you over there.
Song of Memories announcement trailer.
Let me see.
Well, there's also Final Fantasy.
That boobs.
Song. Yeah, this one.
Boobs
There's
in
an
the
opening
thumbnail.
trailer coming to. So there's a 53-second.
I told you what one.
Which one?
The boobs.
Because there's a 3-minute one here.
No. No, keep going. Yes.
I'm really uncomfortable.
What is this weeby crap?
Drew says you're in for a treat.
Oops. Hey,
Oh, there it is.
sweet, sweet music.
How jarring is that?
Well, there's
So I posted the trailer, the announcement, because that's coming to North America and Europe. I posted the trailer and the press release and all that stuff. And then after I'm done doing work, I go through the rounds and really like watch the trailers that I posted. So I read the description for that game. You're good. I read the description for that game. And it's like a romance, whatever, and it's going to be the end of the world, and there's a virus. I'm like, okay, whatever. So
I got all that.
I watched the trailer. I watched the trailer, and then it gets to that middle part, and I'm like, oh, let's go. Like, I'm not offended by it, but it's like they told two people to make the parts of the trailer. They're like, you do the boobs part, and you do the sentimental part. We'll
And
put
the
them together.
hypodermic needles, and like the whole thing made me nauseous.
Yeah, it's something else, man.
Wait, where's the hypodermic?
What do you mean? They show like some weird arm coming in and like needling this little girl or getting ready to needle her. It's after the boob part.
Maybe that's why you didn't see it.
Oh, it's a quick. Oh, okay. I was trying to read the text there too. I was trying to read the nipple.
We Lover says, go watch High School DxD. I don't know how I'm supposed to say that. D-Cross-D? Tell me about it, We Lover. So, yeah. Oh, yes, Swedish Galaxy. We are definitely doing that. I promise you. We're doing a parents' play
A Song of
for Song of Memories.
What's the other one?
He's saying he wants Doki Doki Literature Club, a parents' play, but we're doing Song of Memories.
Oh, okay.
Definitely. So yeah, that Song of Memories is coming out in North America and Europe. I'm going to be very interested to see what rating that game gets, and I'm guessing it's only going to be digital. But the Switch is getting all kinds of, let's say, interesting visual novels, like the one where this guy gets two girls that are cats or used to be cats, and like sex. They do sex.
Mhm.
Kirby's so offended. Mm-hmm.
I don't really think he's actually offended.
Visual novel, like, you know, it's going to be either about having sex with cats or with children. So,
Sure.
You know, when I think, like, I know visual novels, especially or only
or
if
cats
they,
that are also children.
if they come from Japan, like. You know, I know they're gonna have fan service and stuff like that, but there's also visual novels that don't have that stuff. Like
Sure.
Hotel Dusk is a visual novel that's not in it. You know,
999.
999. Yeah, there may be a little fan service in there, but nothing like
Yeah,
that.
but those don't sell.
999 did.
I'm just kidding.
Hotel Dusk. I don't know about that. All right, let's do a question. If you have a question for the Go Nintendo podcast crew, you can send it to gonintendoquestions@gmail.com.
Where?
gonintendoquestions@gmail.com.
Oh.
This question comes from Fred McNanner.
Fred?
And he says, ahoy, hoy, podcast crew. Fred McNanner here with the first question I've asked since, I think, 2010, if we're not counting the podcast 500, he says. Back when the questions thread was an impenetrable fortress that many dreamed to enter. Oh, here, Mom Brain.
Oh boy.
My question is simple. It has to do with hoifus. What do you all imagine this beautiful dog to look like? When are we doing or he says doing, but he means going. When are we going to get Nintendo's Hoifus edition? Go on, this is your thing.
Hoifus is very large, male,
Hoifus.
one testicle,
Wonderful.
not fixed, with one testicle. Might be missing a leg.
Oh, jeez.
Wait, was it born with one testicle, or they were going to get it?
Thanks, Fox.
They were going to neuter it, but like it was so big they couldn't remove two.
I like that.
They had no place to put the other
Yeah.
one.
Hoifus has one really big ball.
It's a drag on the ground.
Yeah, sometimes. Like if he's
Poor guy.
right
You
when
need to give
he gets up from a nap and
You
he's
need to give it like a little cart. Put it in like a roller skate or something.
Yeah, that's
like
it.
Like a dog that has like the back legs don't work, but this is only just for the one testicle.
For the one testicle. For Hoifus's testicle. Testicles. That's all I have so far. If anybody else,
Okay.
that's how I
Brain.
picture Weefus.
Thanks. It's yours, so that's what it looks like.
And Weefus smells real bad.
Fred says, thank you for taking the time to read this very important question. I hope you all have a great day. Well, thank you for taking the time to ask us that very important
When was
question.
the last time you referenced Hoifus?
Hoifus.
It's been a while.
Apparently, it struck a chord with Fred. So
I was gonna say the last thing he asked was in like 2010, and he's bringing back.
Listen, the man's had a burning question for 8 years now. He's got to get it answered. Now he knows. Thank you for that question.
Bringing it back, Kirby.
That's really bringing it
Yeah.
back. All right, Mom Brain, let's do some music.
Okay, here we go. It's coming.
By the way, this was delicious.
Okay.
I got music. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh. Is that what I sound like?
Yeah.
First song comes to us from Glitter Bubble 3.
This sounds like what I used to do on the Casio keyboard.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
What would you do with a drunken All right. I like it. What system?
Super Nintendo.
Oh, it's weird. I'll guess Earthbound.
Nope.
It's weird. What else is weird on Super Nintendo? Yeah. It's not first party, is it?
Nope.
How about Evo? That's a weird game.
Is it licensed?
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's a comic book? Eat the Cat.
No.
Chester Cheetah.
No.
Spot.
No.
All Real Monsters. Okay, Total Recall.
Nope.
Lawnmower Man.
Nope.
Jurassic Park.
Nope.
RoboCop versus Predator.
No.
RoboCop.
No.
Predator.
No.
Is it outer space related?
Nope.
Ren and Stimpy.
No.
It's licensed, but it's got good music. License still around? Batman.
I don't think so. No.
Oh no. Samurai Pizza Cats.
No.
Adam's Family.
Nope.
Alright, well, that's still around. Alright, we don't know.
Bobby's World.
Oh my
Really?
god.
Yep.
That did not make me think of Bobby.
Nope.
No, me either. So that was from Glitter Bubble 3, and it was Bobby's World on the Super Nintendo.
Back
This
when we
next-
didn't know how weird Howie Mandel is.
This next song comes from Mikey3319.
Mr. Mendel. Well, it's gonna be one of those shows.
Is this a license?
Yes.
It's got that feeling. G.I. Joe.
No.
Wolverine.
No.
Silver Surfer.
No.
Wolverine.
G.I. Joe.
Monsters in my pocket.
No.
Captain America.
Uh-uh.
Adam's Family.
Nope.
Fast Express.
Nope.
Toxic Crusader.
Oh. Yo, no way.
No.
Goonies.
No.
Oh. Superman.
Uh-uh.
I say Batman.
It's not Batman.
Last Action Hero.
Nope.
Gremlins.
No.
Oh, I
No.
really felt good about Gremlins.
Is it a spooky game?
No.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
No.
Friday the
Said it's not
13th.
spoopy.
It's not spooky.
Spider-Man.
Uh-uh.
Love it. I don't know what it is. Go ahead. Pick it up.
Yeah.
What tune?
Nope. Much like this music section, it's Mission Impossible.
Oh.
So that was Mission Impossible on the NES from Mikey3319.
That was pretty rude.
Next song comes from Toad 64.
Music.
Mario Party.
Why do I know this? I mean, I know
Link's
it.
Crossbow.
Because you played it. No.
What's it?
Donkey Konga. Yeah.
Two. Donkey Kong.
Yeah, that's good. Go ahead. We only have a lot of time.
So that was Donkey Konga 2 on the GameCube, and that was from Toad 64. Okay, so the next little ditty we have is from our friend Andy the Zombie.
What was that reaction?
And here it is.
What system?
64.
Now,
Is it Mystical Ninja?
Legend of Goemon.
My immediate and first guess would have been Wario. Like, I hear this.
Oh, Wario, yeah.
It's not,
First party?
but yeah.
Okay. I'll work with that. Pokemon something. Let's get that out of the way. Yeah.
Pokemon something.
Pokemon Snap.
No.
Pokemon Puzzle League.
No.
Pokemon Battle.
Nope.
Pokemon Stadium.
Yes.
Ah!
Yeah, I kept wanting to say Pokemon Arena, but it's Stadium.
So that came from Andy the Zombie, and it was Pokemon Stadium on the 64. This song
Pokemon
comes
Battle
from
Arena Toshinden.
Prat Trap.
All right, it's got a Game Boy feel. All right, this has to be rare.
Game Boy Color. I don't know if it's rare. It could be.
It's
It's
Disney
likely.
related.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Mickey's Speedway.
No.
Mickey's Racing Attack.
Adventure.
Racing Attack.
It was. That was Mickey's Racing Adventure from
Mickey
Prat
doesn't
Trap
attack
on the
anybody.
Game Boy Color. This song comes from Nate or Die.
Can you say that one again, please?
That was Mickey's Racing Adventure on the Game Boy Color, and it came from our friend Prat Trap.
Just want to make sure people heard it.
It's the washing machine.
Oh, did you think it was a bomb?
I don't know if the police were here.
Yeah,
They
right.
do tend to show up. Okay, so this one is from Nate or Die, who, if I recall correctly, is homesick. No?
Yes, sick.
Hope you're feeling better when you hear this song, Stump the Crow.
But we still don't know what he's sick with.
How dare you? Okay, GBA.
Yeah.
Oh, let's guess Pokemon again. Get it out of the way.
Nope.
Okay. It's kind of like a Battle Network feel. Mega Man Battle Network.
Nope.
I don't know. I was gonna say it sounds like the end credits song of 80 sitcom.
It's also good enough to be first party, but I'm not sure.
It is not first party.
It's got it's high quality. Is it a franchise that's still around today?
I think it might be.
It's not Advance Wars, is it?
No.
It's not first party, you said?
I don't think so.
Kirby something?
First party.
What's this?
GBA.
GBA.
Is it Capcom?
I don't know.
Because it's got an Ace Attorney feel.
That's what it is.
We're doing GBA. I see how it is. Somebody's being a real butt.
So,
The first Ace Attorney was on GBA in Japan.
So that was Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney on the GBA, and that came from our friend Neat or Die.
Yes.
We wish you a speedy recovery.
I was right. Oh, I guess he won't recover because he didn't stump us.
Is that like the groundhog seeing its shadow? He's going to be sick for another couple weeks?
I'm afraid so.
I
Mom
hope
Brain
not.
did it.
This one comes from
Feel
Wizrad.
better. You stump me.
Whirl of Goo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's later. Never mind. I was playing this with my mom and having a lot of fun and laughing. You know what it reminds me of? LA Beast.
Yeah.
Right?
Like when things start to get serious at the end.
Right before he's about to puke.
You're right. That was from Wizrad, and it was World of Goo on WiiWare. This next song.
Or Switch.
This next song comes from Nico Darunia.
Legendary.
No.
That's not usually an NES sound.
It's not in here.
Yeah. So Game Boy?
Game Boy / Game Boy Color.
It's a nice quality. It's a nice composition. It's your first party?
Sure is.
Yeah, okay. Is it Pokemon? Let's go
Yep.
Pokemon. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm screwed.
It's
Red,
No.
blue,
No.
yellow, silver.
Yeah.
Hey!
All right. So that was from Nico Darunia, and it was Pokemon Silver / Gold / Crystal on the Game Boy / Game Boy Color.
Silver / gold.
Aiden's favorite song. I sing that song at least once a week. This one comes from Alien Boy VA.
All right, this has a first party feel.
It is.
Is this Nintendo Land?
No.
Oh, I felt really good about that.
Mario Party.
No.
Is it a WarioWare? Oh!
That Tetris game.
Nope.
What's this?
What's that street game?
3DS
Not first party.
eShop.
Oh, that's not that.
3DS eShop. Okay. Oh, it's the game with the bunny.
Yeah,
Nintendo Badge Arcade.
that's correct.
Yeah. Listen to those arcade noises.
So that was
That
from
goddamn rabbit's got to be in Smash Brothers. I want him playable in Smash Brothers.
Alien Boy VA, and
Is
it
there going to
was
be a new Smash Bros?
Yes. I
it
mean,
was
always,
Nintendo
so.
Badge Arcade on 3DS eShop.
Our friend Emily Rogers is saying that it's going to be a port of Smash Brothers on the Wii U, but greatly enhanced. And we will hear about it most likely, I think she said before E3. But I know people hate Emily Rogers, so I haven't posted it. I don't know why people hate her, but
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt.
I do not
the
hate
music,
her.
but so Mario Kart Tour,
Yes.
they say fiscal year ending 2019, so that can be anywhere from like March until.
That's what I said, yeah.
Right.
April 2018 to March 2019,
Oh.
somewhere in there.
So sorry, I didn't hear that.
It's okay. It's okay.
We good?
Yeah, we're
Sorry.
great.
I'm
Last
sorry.
song comes from Boy Meets
I'm
Nintendo.
sorry.
All right. I know this. Like, I feel like I was just listening to it. Is this first part? I mean, is this NES? Is it actually NES?
Sure is.
Can I turn it down one?
I'm working on my octopus, Kirby.
That guy.
Give us a little horn. Thank you.
Is it first party?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
Oh, here we
Also, amazing watching it.
go. Look up the name of the game, you'll find out. You can get her budget to do this. Hey. What you want?
I did.
You what?
It was developed by ERM for arcade in 1988, and then ported to the NES in 1990.
I don't know. I don't know what IRM did or ERM. I got no guess. This song's driving me nuts.
You give up?
Yes. My guess is Rygar.
Kickle Cubicle.
Oh, I know the game.
So that was from Boy Meets Nintendo, and the title was Kickle Cubicle, and the system was the NES.
It's Kickle Cubicle.
I don't know how
Tickle
many
my pickle.
you got right or wrong, but as tomorrow is our friend Kirby's birthday,
We just celebrated this guy's birthday.
I made
Yeah, have a birthday weekend.
I made some Rice Krispie treats,
No,
Some
you didn't. No, you
Fruity
didn't.
Pebbles.
Fruity Pebble treats.
That's what you mean. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kirby. Happy birthday to you. Blow out the candle on your Rice Fruity Pebbles tree and make a wish. Hey! All right, this show's out of
Seriously, what'd you wish for? No, tell us!
This show's out of here. But if you want to watch us eat for the after show, you're welcome to. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
All right, let's eat this stuff.
Yeah.
I think I might cheat today.
It's a birthday
Kirby,
celebration.
you
You
can
have
dig
to.
in and take whatever one you would like.
All right.
You don't have to take from
I'm
anyone
bad.
in particular.
Sorry I'm not around for your birthday.
That's okay.
They
it's
should
here.
be pretty
Yeah,
well
do it yesterday.
sliced. But you know, if you want me to go get a spatula, I can.
No, it's okay. It's just
Yeah,
that they're
something
all
about
they're really gooey.
The sulfur
I love it.
smells.
Turns me on.
I love
makes
it.
me think of, cleaning up a bathroom stench.
Makes me think of makes me think of all the bodies I've burned.
I'll slice everybody else's so you can eat. Boys,
Kirby, how old are you tomorrow?
36.
Oh my God. 36. End of the line.
Mm-hmm.
I have a small piece.
yes.
Yeah, I don't want that big. Can you split that in half and we'll take that, please?
You're gonna eat it. You're gonna like it.
I ate it earlier today.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It was untouched.
I'm talking about when I fell in the mud.
Oh yeah, you ate it. Well,
Drew's saying something I like.
Sorry.
Drew's saying go to Spatula City. Spatula City! Thank you.
You're
You're
dirt
welcome.
pine needle pie.
Rocket says, what cake is this? Oh, it's not a cake.
Now, I learned not so long ago that our friend Kirby doesn't particularly care for cake.
Yeah, I would take this over cake any day.
Ice cream cake and regular cake? Not a fan?
Oh, well, I like ice cream cake.
But I fear
Because
that
I don't really like regular cake either, but I like ice cream cake.
when you have a winter birthday, I feel like you don't get ice cream cake as often as people like myself with a summer
I
birthday.
take the camera off him while he's eating.
Good.
No.
Are they good?
I'm ice cream cake all
You're all
over.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're great.
Excellent.
You're not having any?
I can't have that.
Birthday.
What?
You're ruining his birthday.
I don't really think that's true.
You're going to take one bite. Well, bite. It's going to be good. Here you go. Mmm.
She spits it into her mouth.
Happy birthday.
You're so weird. They're nice.
All right.
They're real nice.
We're out of here. Thanks for watching us eat food. Go celebrate Kirby's birthday with all your friends and family. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.